Moving on, let's now hear from the youngest of Tita Susan's granddaughter, NIKA Poe Llamanzares.
Hello? Okay. Thank God there's tissue here. Alright, so, hello, I'm Nika, Mama Susan's favorite grandchild, I'd have to say. I'd like to start by saying how lucky I am to have known Mama Susan at the very least. You see, Papa Rani died the year I was born, so I literally have nothing to go off of whenever people ask me how he was like. The only things I get of him are his movies and snippets from you guys, which are very nice. But with Mama Susan, I was lucky to have her until the very end of my childhood. I preferred to keep my childhood and any possible blackmail that can be used against me at the very end of my mind. So I don't remember much, but I know Mama Susan was always the same. The earliest memory I have of her was when I was still in my god-awful One Direction phase. And I needed an audience to showcase my superb singing skills too. And that was Mama Susan, which I believe was against her will. No matter how off-tune I probably was, I was still met with a round of applause from my biggest and only supporter at that time. Fast forward to my very last memory of her, and she's still the same. If you guys didn't know, I do pursue art, just not performing art, aka singing, but visual art. If we're talking about my last memory of her face-to-face, it would be when I showed her the new pages of my sketchbook, which is very rare, even my mom doesn't see it. She let me explain each and every one of my original characters and creations, whether she understood my rambling or not. Every now and then, she'd stop, telling me things that don't make sense with the context, but nonetheless I appreciate. Things like, did you know, Nika, Leonardo visited morgues to paint realistically? Then I'd reply, whoa, that's so cool. I'm never gonna do that, but thanks for letting me know. I really appreciate that story. Or something like, oh, so you're into Koreans. Me too, I love Lee Min Ho. Then I'd reply, she has good taste. No, but really, she'd talk about how Papa Rani would reference comic books in his films, the same way I do for all my art. The reason why this story is so particularly heart-wrenching for me is because I grew up on comics, thanks to my dad and my brother. So just talk about comics with it, like anything related to comics with me. And you know that a lot of my values are built into that. A lot of my inspirations are built from superheroes. Superheroes like my grandfather and then Mama Susan. So it was nice to have someone who thought I wasn't crazy talking about stuff like that. And then, and I lost my part in the script, hold on. There you go. She talked about Van Gogh also, how he'd paint whether or not he'd be famous in the future. Then she'd tell me that what I was doing was correct, was worth it, and something I should continue to pursue because it made me happy. Passion. That's what it all came down to. And I knew she knew it very, very well. Still, she was my #1 supporter, even if I didn't ask for any support. Now, if we're talking about my last conversation with her, it was through phone, right when she surprised me with the art supplies collected over the decades. After school, my Aya called me and showed me a huge easel, taller than me, I believed, which is kind of rare because even my older sister is shorter than me. Then all types of paints, right? So watercolor, acrylics, oil, then canvases. Still in yellowing plastic, still new. It was all for me, and it was more than I believed I was worth. Until the end, she supported my art whether I knew I needed it or not. So I called her, told her thanks, told her how my week was, going back to school for the first time in 2 years, sleeping for 5 hours right after that. Then I asked how she was, and she told me she doesn't sleep straight. And I told her same. I sleep at 3 a.m. and I blame school. Then we say, good night. Thanks for talking to me. You start to appreciate the little things a lot more when you don't have them anymore, of course. I never fully realized that until the last time I actually saw her. My last words to her, she couldn't reply to me anymore. But I still hope she heard me. I told her about my latest artwork, dedicated to her. She couldn't see it, so I had to explain. It was a girl and a boy floating in the pink blue sky, stars surrounding them, while they kissed each other without a care in the world. It was the drawing I showed her before anyone else. I don't think anyone actually saw it yet. I hope she'd say good job. It turned out so well. Sayang, my first art exhibit is in just 2 weeks, and she, who was probably more excited for it than I was, can't make it. Well, physically. Sorry, I sound so disgusting. Anyway, I'm sure she has better seats up there, though, like they're cushiony pa, you have great eyesight, probably in heaven. But anyway, she can't really leave me when we share the same name. Jesus with an A. Jesusa. Not Jessie, by the way. Some people called me Jessie. But I never really appreciated my name as much as I do now, knowing I was named after the person who touched so many people's hearts, including my own. Even if I'll never reach your level, Mama Susan, I promise to not take my name lightly. I will hold my head high and treat everyone with dignity, just like you did. Your name's in good hands, by the way, don't worry. I love you, and I'll see you again. Thank you.